Hey, real estate investors, Danny Beit-Or here. I want to take a few minutes of your time and talk about not if this is a good time to buy now. I think it's always a good time. More to talk about how to buy now. What's the best strategy to buy now? And I'm bringing you this content after conducting approximately the past 3 weeks of reading a lot, economists, real estate economists, and general economists about what's going on. I've attended 2 days a large forum of single-family residents, investment residents in Phoenix, where multiple large operators and industry leaders and researchers and economists attended, and there was many panels and discussions around what to buy, how to buy, what's going on, etc. So I really want to bring those past few weeks of spending significant time on trying to understand what can you do in the current environment, and we're talking about the end of 2023, beginning of 2024. So let me start by saying that if you don't want to watch the entire video and explaining, which is probably going to be 5-6 minutes, maybe hopefully less, and want to jump straight to the answer, I will tell you that the methods, the tactic, the strategy we are doing right now, which is nothing sophisticated or surprising, is basically taking a little bit more of an aggressive approach towards making offers. So the general mindset, and it's not always working, but the general mindset we're using is using more aggressive offers. And that's what I mean. It's not if it's a good time to buy, is how do we buy right now? Now, let me tell you why I think the timing of using this method of being a bit more aggressive, and aggressive is a scale, right? How much aggressive? It's definitely a scale. I want to explain to you why. So let me start by the most important point, in my opinion, relevant to where we are in the economy right now. December 2023, and probably the same mindset will continue to last into January, February, and probably March of 2024. I call this time a great opportunity to use an aggressive offers approach. Why? Because based on the reasons that I will explain in a moment, we are seeing a period where there's relatively low real estate activity, relatively, not zero, and relatively consumers, right? Not investors, consumers are sitting a little bit more on the sideline, right? Now, when we as investors, what I have seen over the years, and I've seen it multiple times, not too many, but several times over the years, and I had the luxury, the privilege of being in the real estate industry and watching from a side for the past 20 years, there's one thing that I saw happen several times. In any economy, when the greater uncertainty or lack of activity or fear that people are using, it's an excellent indicator to be an investor that is buying and leveraging, exploiting the mood, the atmosphere of consumers, right, in our favor. So that's why I'm using aggressive efforts in times of uncertainty. I think it's one of the best things you can think of is being being certain in a time of uncertainty. You will probably do very well. Now let me explain why. So what are we seeing out there? Couple of forces that are affecting the marketplace, the economy, the real estate economy. First of all, the high interest rate on one end are still kind of discouraging buyers altogether because of the affordability. So we have a down pressure coming from the high interest rates. That's one. Second, the high interest rates are both pushing buyers out of the market, but also pushing sellers out of the market. Why they're pushing sellers out of the market? Because sellers are actually buyers as well. They will sell and many times buy after. Not always, and there's some different situations and scenarios under that observation, but many sellers are also buyers. So we have less inventory. We have, because less sellers are selling, less buyers, meaning less competition. We also have a real estate environment where the demand for housing is still much greater than the supply, right? So we still are seeing a high demand for housing, which this is actually pushing the prices, could push the prices up. Now, on a case by case, on a metro by metro, we are seeing a little bit different behaviors. Now, I'm not talking about radical differences, but somewhat differences, where we're seeing one metro has more inventory and maybe the prices are a little bit more flattening, and another metro right next to it has low inventory. And we can see this example, for example, between St. Louis and Kansas City, which are about 3-4 hours away from each other, driving distance. We can definitely see the level of inventory is different, and the pricing, of homes, or how houses are holding prices, is also a little bit different. We are not seeing significant price drops. We are seeing what I call the artificial price drops. Artificial meaning 500, 1,000, maybe up to 1,000, ish on a $300,000 home. That is not a significant drop. That's why I call it an artificial, price drop. So sellers are still holding grounds, and we have different local behaviors. And that's when I say an aggressive offer, I have to adjust the number that's associated with the aggressive side of it based on the market. So maybe in Kansas City, I can be a little bit more aggressive relatively to St. Louis, just to give you an example. To top or to wrap everything that I'm talking about, the uncertainty or the consumer's uncertainty, the high interest rate, the lack of inventory, the one thing that kind of helps the icing on the top is that we are seeing, or maybe seeing, the traditional winter behavior coming back. When I say traditional winter behavior, is that traditionally in real estate, during the winter, there was less real estate activity compared to the summer. That assumption, which was very common practice in real estate for many, many years, it was not something that we necessarily saw during the pre and post-COVID era, right? The past few years. So winter actually helped bring all of this together. When we're seeing there's less, activity, all of those factors, if you follow my line of thought here, are actually creating an opportunity for the buyers who understand the long-term play here. And what is the long-term play here? Well, first of all, one of the common assumption, a common thought I'm hearing in the past few weeks is that interest rate will either stop going up on the second half of 2024, or maybe even start going down a little bit. Not necessarily much down, but a little bit. So what do you think? And I would ask that you even respond, comment to us or here and tell us, what do you think is going to happen to the real estate prices based on everything that I told you when we start seeing interest rate kind of creeping down, right? They're not shooting down, they're creeping down, maybe, even 0.5% or so. So where do you want to be when you learn that the interest rates are going down in a time of, supply shortage? Where do you want to be? Are you want to be waking up that point, maybe in 6 months from now, summer of 2024, maybe the winter or fall of 2024, when, if that happens, prices will most likely will go up? Or do you want to be now when there's more opportunity because of consumer behavior, because of the uncertainty, because of people kind of sitting a little bit on the sideline? That's an excellent time for you to take action. So you already understand where I think. So if you want to wrap up everything that I'm saying, winter of 2023, 2024 is an excellent opportunity to be a buyer that understand how to buy right now, right? How to buy. Let's try and make aggressive offers on relevant houses, right? Not on everything. So buyers are not desperate, but let's give it a shot. We may need to make, 5, 10 offers until we get one good one. That's okay. That's okay. So be ready for that. Before I conclude this video, I want to mention two things. Number one, we started sending properties out, vetted properties out through our new Telegram channel. So if you want to follow up on videos, content, events, and the vetted properties that we're sending out, subscribe to our Telegram channel. Subscribing is free. You need the app and it's free. So the Telegram channel is number one. Number two, on Tuesday, December 12th, I'm holding a webinar, probably a full hour or so, where I'm going to talk about the top 10 questions we've been getting from investors for the past 10 plus years, more than 10 years. The same question or the repeated questions or the common questions that we keep getting, we want to address them. And the way we are addressing them is trying to provide you a good input, logical, common sense, understanding, all coming from really experience of buying, investing real estate in a large scale over many, many years. So join us. I'll put the subscription link to the registration link for the webinar on Tuesday, December 12th, 6 p.m. Pacific, and I'm going to put the subscription for the Telegram as well. I hope to hear from you. We would love to hear your comments here or directly to us so we can create this as a conversation and not a one-way communication. Have a terrific rest of your week and a nice weekend. Thanks for taking the time. Bye-bye.